gonna get a minute so I watch the good stand up and shit.
Yeah, you need to laugh, yo.
I never knew he had beef with that Bobcat comedian. I never knew they had beef and shit.
Right. I didn't know that either. Yeah.
I knew he had beef with Dice Man, Andrew Dice Clay and shit.
What happened to him? The Dice Man.
He still does stand up. He just
True.
more underground. He more low key.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen like a good Dice stand up.
I need to get his comedy album. That shit goes it's so hard to come by.
Right.
Maybe Eric can get that for me. I don't know.
Eric, where you at? Eric Santa Eric.
Actually, no, scratch that. He already gave me something, so I'll just get it when I get my money straight.
This is the best question I've seen all day, bro. When remember I sent you all the post in the group chat.
Yeah,
Can you still be considered a rap great if you don't have a classic album? That's a good question because there's a
that's
lot
a
of great lyricists that don't have a classic album.
that's a very good question too.
I want BJ to answer that. He still ain't say shit yet the whole day.
He said no.
He
He
said no.
responded to me. Yeah,
So Jadakiss is not a legend to him then. He says great Jadakiss is great. So if he's great, where's his classic album?
you and
That's
this
all I'm
Jada
saying.
kiss. You and this
Hey,
Jada kiss.
Jadakiss, Fabulous, yep, Cannabis. We could go on for this all day.
MC Shan.
I mean, MC Shan, Craig G. You know,
I'm not. This might be controversial. I don't think Corrupts has a classic album.
Streets is a mother. That's his classic to me. No, you don't like it?
That's a good album. I won't call it a classic album.
No.
I'm not gonna hold you.
Oh wow.
It's
So Nipsey
it's
Hussle. So Nipsey Hussle has died with a classic and not corrupt. That's what you talking.
you're talking about with the Victory Lap album.
Yeah, Victory Lap is a classic to me.
Great album. I wouldn't
You
call
don't
it a
think it's a
classic
classic?
just
You
yet.
don't think Victory Lap is a classic? Wow.
Certifiable.
I think it's
I'm
certifiable.
a, yeah, it's certifiable though, but I wouldn't call it a classic just yet.
Well, how long do we have to wait? I mean, he's been dead for what, like 4 years?
I mean, yeah, he's been dead, but that don't automatically make it a classic album.
No, but I'm saying from the moment it dropped to me it was a classic album. Like I love
Yeah,
the production has a real gangster rap, sound to it.
yeah. Like I said, it's a great album. I love the album. I just would not call it a
AZ
classic album.
definitely AZ has a classic for sure.
He has at least three classics, in my opinion.
I think I love his discography. I don't know if I would say he has three classics. I think Though It Dies is magnum opus.
Yes,
Pieces of a Man was a solid sophomore, and
yes.
then it's like I don't know after that. Like I like Non Lives, but a lot of his stuff don't even get mentioned in conversation.
I would say the Asiatic album might be a personal
Asiatic
classic.
is a classic too.
Yeah,
Okay.
because like I said, I feel like with Az, Do or Die, that's his magnum opus.
Hmm.
I feel like every album after that either ranged from great to solid, never
Right.
anything below average.
Right. That is a great question. You know what I'm saying? And he just said no, but I'm like, bro, you love Jadakiss, and Jadakiss is great, but I never felt like Jadakiss had a classic album.
See,
Or Fab.
I felt like the first one was classic in my opinion.
I think it was a great album for him, but I wouldn't put that on top tier with Ready to Die or Illmatic. Same goes for Fabulous. Fabulous, his mixtapes are better than his albums. I don't think he has a classic album.
Fabulous.
Fabulous, great lyricist. He got bars, but I think Banks and Beans right now have more classics than Fabulous. I think they have a classic album in their discography.
Beans has at least two classics.
Yes, I agree. Banks, I love
Banks,
A Hunger for More for me was a classic. I think that's better than any album Fabulous ever dropped. You know, even Jewels when he was on his shit. before he got caught up in the drama. His first two albums were great.
He's another one that has no classic in my opinion.
I don't know. I think From Me to You was a great album, great debut. What the Games We're Missing was dope too.
Ooh, Wale.
Yeah, he don't have no classics to me. I like early Wale before he went to MMG. I don't think he has any classics. Hey, man. There's a whole list of them. You know.
I would also what's that one motherfucker? He was big in the mid 2000s. I can't think of his name right now, but Joe Budden.
Yeah, he ain't got no classics. Good rapper. Yeah, I don't think he has any classic albums. Good rapper. Good MC.
Like I said, a lot of this. Yeah, this is a good question, though. I'm trying to think. There was another rapper who was pretty solid. You remember that one rapper named Def Jeff?
Yes.
You think he has classics?
It's been so long since I heard his album.
Yeah.
You talking about the same Def Jeff that did the shit with Shaq on Shaq Diesel?
Yeah.
Nah, I never heard all his albums though, so I don't. You picking obscure artists? I'm talking about like artists, well-known artists. Like, you know what I'm saying? It don't have to be necessarily mainstream artists. It could be underground cats. But do any of those artists that people love have classics?
Would you say E40 has?
I don't listen to E40, so that's something you would have to ask. You would have to tell me. Does he have any classics too?
He has about 2 solid classics.
Okay. Too Short. Does he have any classics too?
Oh, hell yeah. Too Short got classics. Hell yeah.
Digital Underground. Do they have any classics?
They have like 2 classics, in my opinion.
Okay.
Above the Law.
I think their classic album is the first one. You know, Sex Packets.
I'm more of a Sons of the P kind of guy.
I love Sons of the P. For me, I love it. It's my favorite. I don't necessarily think that the community feels like it's a classic compared to Sex Packets. I think Sex Packets is that's that one for them.
Understandable.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I know Kiss You Back was on that joint. No Lose Job.
Right. D-Flow Shuttle.
Yeah.
You know, that was a great album. Love that album.
Q said the Bodyhead Syndrome. Bodyhead Syndrome was cool. I would not call it a classic album though.
That was okay.
But I felt like that album was very underrated. I feel like it's a solid 4 mic album.
How many classics Cameron got?
Oh, that's easy 3. I would say SDE, depending on who you ask. That's an arguable classic. Come Home With Me is his magnum opus. Purple Haze, that's his another bonafide classic to me.
I agree.
Because to me, Confessions of Fire, I like it, but I feel like that's his weakest album because he didn't have the full creative control on that one.
Right. It was dope. I liked it.
Yeah, like I feel like Un was trying to make him like a Biggie-esque kind of rapper and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm gonna go on about 5 minutes. Jay Electronica. I hate to say it.
Yeah, you don't have no classics to me. I just think it was he just came out too late. You know, like if he had came out in 2009, 2010 with the Just Blaze shit, I think that would have been a classic album.
Yeah,
That
he dropped
Jay-Z
the ball.
album was not classic, and the fact that when that album come out and they were comparing that to Cuban Link, no, not even.
Ooh, I got a good one. Inspector Deck.
I don't think he has any.
I love Uncontrolled Substance.
Um,
I would not call that a classic album though.
no, it's
You know?
good, but I don't think it's on the same tier as the Wu solos, the other ones.
Right. And I'm not counting the shit he did with Seven L and Esoteric with the soft bass. I'm talking about just
Zombies
his
was great, right? You talking about just
yeah,
a
I'm talking
solo
about
stuff?
solo,
Yeah,
the solo shit. Yeah.
right, facts.
You God, and I say you God too. I like Golden Arms Redemption though.
I didn't like that. I like some songs. I think his latter albums like Venom and Keynote Speaker was his best shit. I think
I
that's his
agree.
best, his better albums. You know what I'm saying? First album I didn't care for.
I felt with the Wu affiliates, they saved that second wave of solo albums, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Killer Priest, Heavy Mental, Capadonna's The Pillage album, Lot of Darkman, Heist of the Century. That I would hear no one talk about that album.
that was a fire album.
Granted, you still had Method Man's Cal 2000. You still had it's because we mentioned Controlled Substance, Supreme Clientele. I mean, we already know that shit about that.
Right.
Those were the good ones. Immobilarity, Nigga Please from ODB.
See, I like Immobilarity, but it's not a classic. It's not a classic album, but I love it because the fact that he could do the album without RZA or any Wu production at that time, I thought it was banging, but it's not a classic album.
Key Test said Killer Mike.
Killer Mike, yeah, Killer Mike on the list right now. He on the list. He on the list right now.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like, spoiler alert, the Michael album is his best album, but I would not call it a classic just yet.
Right.
I'm not counting the Run the Jewels. I'm not counting the Run the Jewels shit though, cause
Right. Just the solo stuff.
that's the solo shit.
I see a lot of these artists. Some of these artists went off and did collab albums with people, so it's like just the solo shit. We ain't talking about the collabs with DJ Muggs or with Static Selector. Just their solo shit.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say Sadat X has a classic album with the Wild Cowboys? Because I know some people say that's a classic, some people say that's not a classic.
Definitely.
Okay.
I think that's a classic album for sure.
Oh yeah, Q. Scarface. He has like about 5 classics, in my opinion.
Yeah. Sadat got one.
Q said, I even hear some people say Lil Wayne don't have a classic album. I disagree.
Lil Wayne definitely
he has two classics, in my opinion. Carter 2 and Carter 3. Yeah.
So you don't, okay.
Yeah. Carter 1 was cool. It was good, but it wasn't great.
Right.
To me, I felt like Carter 1, 2, and 3 were the best ones.
Yeah.
Carter 4, I did not care for that one. Carter 5 was okay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And then he's dropping Carter 6 at some point.
Jesus.
I think it's time to just end it. End the series.
You should have hung it up with Carter 3. I'm sorry. Like,
and it's not like he can't. He had like other albums that still hasn't dropped yet. Like, I don't understand why he's continuing the series.
The one with Joel Santana. I mean,
right.
niggas was waiting for that shit for longer.
That never came out. You know what I'm saying? He had like other albums that were delayed when he was going through that shit with Birdman. But I mean, are people still hyped for another Carter sequel? I'm not.
I mean, they're just happy to see Wayne rap, honestly.
Yeah, and he did his thing last year. He showed out with 2 Chainz. I was surprised. You know.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna answer one more person. Q said Drake.
Drake has a classic. I think I would say Take Care is his best album.
Yeah.
The early shit though, I like, Take Care and Thank Me Later. Nothing Was the Same, So Far Gone. I think that's his best shit.
Give me Thank Me Later and Take Care. Give me just those two. I'm good.
Just those two? Okay.
Because nigga shit on Thank Me Later, it's not even funny. I remember when that shit first came out, I loved that fucking record.
Dope album.
And then you know me, I'm not the biggest Drake fan now, but I love that fucking record.
I do. It was great.
Like lyrically, that's his best album. Lyrically.
Right.
Artistically, Take Care is his best album. but everything else, except
Kendrick.
except
Mm-hmm.
except for if you're reading this, it's too
You
late.
like that one?
And the shit he did with Future. That
Kendrick,
if
J.
you're reading this,
Cole.
they have classics.
Mm-hmm.
Cassidy ain't got no classics.
Nah. I think his best album was the second one, I'm a Hustler. But I don't think it's a classic.
I heard people kind of try to compare him to Big L. I'm like, no,
Nah.
no.
He not Big O.
That
Fuck no.
didn't he do that something by drinking my two step with Swiss Beats, right?
Yeah, that was on the first
I
one. I
got
think the first one.
I got so tired of that song.
Great battle rapper. He could battle, but there's other artists. Nems is better than him to me, and he's a battle rapper. You know,
You said Nems or Mims?
Nems.
Oh, I thought you said Mims.
No, not Mims.
So this is
Nems.
why I'm hot, dude.
Nah,
I was about to
no.
say
Gorilla Nems.
this is
That's what
why I'm hot.
No, fuck no.
Oh shit! But I remember that song was everybody's ringtone for like 07, 08.
Crazy. Crazy.
Okay, let's start this shit because we're not gonna go down this list.
Right.
All right. What's up, you two? How y'all doing? This your boy Reg in the building. We're back at it with y'all tonight. I got my homeboy Trial with me. How you doing?
Chilling.
I want to give a shout out to Ashley, Patrice, and Ant. That was a dope review we did earlier and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? Now we're gonna do our top 10 hip hop albums of 2023. You know what I'm saying? Of 2023. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Can't wait to do this show. Can't wait to do this one. 2023 was a very interesting year for music and everything like that too. I mean, AI was trying to take over shit. You know, it was just a lot of crazy shit with this year. But you know what we always do? We always count out the albums. Now, y'all not gonna y'all expecting albums like Blockbuster. You're not gonna see that in this.
Fuck no. That'd be on the worst list.
Yeah, that definitely will be on the worst list because I can't listen to that shit anymore.
Fuck no.
You know what? Try. I'm gonna start it off with you and shit. You can start it off.
We doing like from 10 to 1?
Yeah, 10 to 1.
All right, number 10. We actually did this album review with I think Gervais was a part of that. Shout out to Gervais. AZ, truth be told, AZ and Buck Wild, all the production done by Buck Wild, one of the best producers ever. I really enjoyed this album, and just when we thought that, you know, AZ couldn't give us a better album than Do or Die 2, we dropped Truth Be Told last year. Phenomenal album. You know, I love the songs, you know, Don't Go Astray, one of the greatest, the GOAT track, This Is Why, How We Get It featuring Fat Joe, classic boom bap production, and AZ still got the bars, and it's not a surprise because I mean I love all of AZ's albums, so that's my number 10, AZ Truth Be Told.
You know what's the ironic thing? That's actually my number 10 too.
Yeah, that's your number 10? Okay.
Yeah, that's the irony right there. That's my number 10. I didn't think we were gonna start off like this, but fuck it.
Right.
All right, so you pretty much took the words out my mouth when it came to this record. I mean, AZ has just been on a streak for the past couple of years. He dropped the Do or Die 2 a couple years back. I mean, I don't feel like it's touching Do or Die 2 this album, but I feel like it's still a welcome addition to his lovely legacy. I love songs like Amazing, Reintroduction, and everything like that too. Buck Wild definitely did his thing with the production. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this is actually my number 10 on this list.
All right, number 9 for me is Lloyd Banks, The Course of the Inevitable, Part 3, Pieces of My Pain. Banks is back. I love this version of Banks where it's no G Unit. He ain't dependent on 50 Cent. It's all him. He's a changed man. He got kids now. He's focused again. He still got the bars. Production was great. And the production, the irony of it is, when you listen to this album, a lot of the tracks, at least for me, reminded me of like early Sha Money XL. You know, when he was doing like the G Unit mixtapes, with
Yeah.
50 and back in like the 2000s, 03, 04, and a lot of the production reminded me of Sha Money XL, but it was great production that fit Banks's flow, and like he killed every track. This is not a there's not a song on this album that you can skip. Like every track was banging, and you got joints like Cliffhanger and Money Machine, um uh the Method Man joint 101 Razors was fire. That was a single. Open Gates, LSD, phenomenal album. Check the first two because it is a trilogy. 1 and 2 was fire, and part 3 was just as good. So that's my number 9.
I think look at the group me for a minute. I think. Hold
What
on.
what BJ saying? He's saying some crazy shit, right? BJ, come on here. I know you watching.
Oh no, my computer's just reacting some shit late. Never mind. He didn't say anything new.
Oh
All I just heard was he replied on that picture about Jada's.
no, Jada have no classes.
No, I meant like Jada Smith, Jada Pinkett.
Oh, with the ball head? Yo, that shit was crazy. I don't see
Y'all
the
need to,
Fat Joe resemblance. People say she look like Fat Joe. Weird.
I was like, y'all need to leave Jada alone, man.
Oh,
Chill
man.
out.
That's wild.
Don't start 2024 off like this. All right, number 9. I said AZ. Number 9 for me, I'm gonna go with Hit Boy's Surf or Drown album. You know what I'm saying? This one was a solo album and everything. It's pretty much just a lot of rappers rapping over his shit, of course. You have Dom Kennedy, Currency, Nas made an appearance and shit like that too, you know what I'm saying? Hit Boy to me is a producer of the year. I'm not even gonna hold you.
Really?
And I heard
so?
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. And now he's doing an album with his father. He's gonna produce now with his father and some shit like that. I can't wait to hear that shit. But yeah.
I think that dropped already, if I'm not mistaken.
You did?
I think it came out. I think it came out like a couple days ago. Cause he dropped Big Hit dropped the album with The Game that came out.
Oh
It's
wow.
like a 9, I think 8 or 9 song album.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's my number 9.
All right, my number 8 for me is the Mussolini and Pete Rock. I mean Mussolini and Ninth Wonder. This is the Don and I Part 2, and they had another album that came out last year, in 2022. And Don and I Part 2. The first one was great. Second one was even better. If you love like some pimped out melodic rap, this is the album for you. Like the Ninth Wonder still is one of the best in the game. His production was real smooth, real melodic. Mussolini, dope, underrated MC. He had a single that came out from the album, Carmel City 2, the sequel, the unofficial sequel to Pete Rock and Slim Smooth, Carmel City from Main Ingredient. And it actually had Pete Rock rapping on there with him. He has a video with him and Pete Rock that came out for that song. You got joints like Cool Out, Ocean Keys, Smooth Criminal. Just a dope banging album. Like Ninth Wonder to me is still one of the best producers that's out there in this era, and he gave him like some great production. You got artists like Heather Victoria. You got Currency on a song called Cajun Butter. That's also a single. That's a video for that as well. Shout out to Currency, great artist as well. And this was a banger. His last two albums. AJ, what's good? His last 2 albums with Ninth Wonder, I think that's gonna put him in a different conversation now because he's dropped stuff before. But I think just having the production by like a super producer like Ninth Wonder is gonna put him up with the main artist now. So Mussolini and Ninth Wonder, Don and I too.
Definitely. All right. Album number 8 for me. Shit. Where we at right now? Okay. I'm gonna give a shout out to my nigga Ant. he put me on this album. It's a Sky Zoo with Mind of a Saint.
Okay.
Sky Zoo, man, that nigga always delivers and shit. I know you don't like the retro politician
I
album.
didn't. That's the only one that I heard that I didn't care for. Like I love the album he
Crazy.
did with Apollo Brown. That was
Yeah.
phenomenal. Um, the his early mixtapes and stuff. But I don't know. I just felt like it, and it wasn't Sky Zoo's fault. I just felt like just some of the beats on there. I wasn't impressed by Pete Rock, and I love Pete Rock, my favorite producer all time. I just wasn't impressed with some of the
Oh
beats that he
man.
gave us, at least for me. But
Oh man.
and sometimes it's gonna happen. Like now, if you listen to the project Pete Rock did with Benny, I thought he had better beats with Benny. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people missed that.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? But
I
I
agree.
don't know. Just some of the beats wasn't hitting for me.
And I can respect that. I can definitely, because you're not the only person that said that about the production, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I just felt like that was a different stratosphere. But back to the Mind of a Saint. If you guys are fans of the show Snowfall, which I'm not gonna hold you, I haven't seen every episode, but I do love the show.
Mm-hmm.
He pretty much based off this album. He based it off on Franklin's character on Snowfall and shit like that too. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Pretty dope track, dope album. It has dope songs like Straight Drop, Brick by Brick, and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, definitely. That Snowfall breakdown is going to be long overdue.
Yeah.
And everything like that too. I gotta rewatch the whole show, honestly.
Mm-hmm. All right, what we at 7? Number 7 for me is Bun B and Static Selector, Chill Static Part 3. Phenomenal album. I think at this point, Bun B, we could say is one of the best from the South, and he can flow over anybody's beat. And I love the production that Static Selector gave him. It wasn't even it doesn't have like a southern sound to it, but it's something that you could ride to. It's really smooth. He has that boom bap, just like Ninth Wonder, really smooth production, but it's still hitting. And the whole album's phenomenal. Like it's not a skip on this album. You got joints like we got Apollo Houston and Set in Stone. I think that was a single. You got Super Legends, A Day in the Life, big shit, just phenomenal album. There's a ton of features on here. I thought it was a great collab album, and I think this is where it's going now for rap. In this day and age, we're gonna see a lot more collab albums from different MCs from different regions with different producers, and I think this is like a prime example of that, of what you can do with like a Brooklyn producer like Static Selector, and who's done stuff with like Duck Down and Joey Badass and Terminology, and then hooking up with legend like Bun B from UGK, in Texas, and just giving us a phenomenal album. So that's my number 7.
Okay, good choice. Good choice. My number 7 for me is gonna be Lloyd Banks, the course of the inevitable 3 pieces of my pain. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this because you already mentioned a good amount. This is definitely one of my favorite Lloyd Banks projects thus far. I like the fact that he's definitely finding his own like lane and everything like that. After the OG unit, which I feel like he's doing very great with this one. I love songs like Onyx AMG. The title track was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Can't even talk today. Yeah, man, this was definitely a very great album. The production was very good too. So yeah.
Number 6 is Czarface. That's Severnell and Esoteric and Inspector Deck. Czarface. Artificial Intelligence. Great album, great production, boom bap at its finest. Inspector Deck and Esoteric killed it lyrically on every track. They had a single called You Know My Style featuring Gorilla Nems. Dope ass single. I love there's another song with Godfather Dawn and Kool Keith on here. That was Helicopter. That was a fire track. They have another song called Mama's Basement where Esoteric is it's a story about how he's a comic book collector, and when his mom had like went away and left his life, and he turned to comic books to deal with like him being depressed. And then fast forward to like when he's an adult later on, he had like a big box of comics that he left in his mom's basement. When he came back with those comics, his mom threw it away. So he was sad about that, and that was a great song, just dedicated to Marvel Comics, DC Comics. He referenced a lot of different superheroes in that song as well. But just a great album. And if you're familiar with all the Czarface albums, none of them are whack. All of them are solid to me. And this was one of the best ones last year. So
That's a dope one.
yeah.
Album number 6, I got Lil Wayne and 2 Chainz with Welcome to Collie Grove. Out of all these albums on this list, this is the one that surprised me the most. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like the energy was on point with this one. He had 50 Cent narrating this. You know what I'm saying? I guess they were fans of the Raising Kanan show and everything like that. So they wanted to have their own narration, you know. I love songs like Pressure, Long Story Short. That Long Story Short is my joint. I love that one.
Yeah, that was
What's that one motherfucking song? PPA minus Fabulous's verse and shit. I like there's a lot of great songs on this one. Like Big Diamonds was pretty cool. You know, like I need to listen to the first Collie Grove. I haven't heard that one, but yeah, this is a fire joint.
All right, number 5, like I just mentioned, this artist before, Gorilla Nems, Brooklyn, one of Brooklyn's new up and coming artists. Definitely had a great album with Scram Jones, Rise of the Silverback. I loved his the production by Scram Jones, underrated hip hop producer. A lot of the songs were fire. He had a joint called with Ghostface. It was called Don't Ever Disrespect Me. I think that's also the song that plays on his podcast Outside on YouTube. Check it out. Dope single. We had a joint called Keep On, where he talks about his life and growing up and how he became an MC and all that, and the hardships, with his life story, and that was great. We had Blicky. That was another single. We had Drip, another single. But the whole album is just boom bap. It was fire. He's a battle rapper, but he also can do an actual song. You know what I'm saying, and make it entertaining as well. He has like witty bars. He reminds me of like a Puerto Rican Irish Sean Price. Yeah, Sean Price was witty with his bars as well, and Nems, his personality also shines on his podcast. If you ever saw it, and he's dope. Like I'm looking forward to seeing what else he's gonna bring out. And I know he has like a deal with Paul Rosenberg, with Eminem's manager. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the other stuff he comes out with. But this was a phenomenal album, and I know I liked his other projects in the past. Congo and the Coney Island project was fire, and so this is a Rise of Silverback from Gorilla Nems.
Dope. All right, I got my boy Larry June and the Alchemist from my number 5, The Great Escape. Yeah, shout out to Tribe for recommending me this one.
I told you, they're sleeping on Larry June, bro.
Yeah, we're gonna review some more shit from him in the future. But if you just want to go for a nice ride in the sunset, this is the perfect album for you and shit like that too. Yeah, definitely is doing well on the charts and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? I like to see more underground hip hop on this wavelength and shit too. I love songs like Orange Village, What Happened to the World with Wiz was pretty good. 89 Earthquake. Yeah, this one right here was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? It's funny because the Needle Drop gave us a mixed review, talk about how Larry June was not.
Him, man. This nigga for years. I don't understand how this dude do a whole album review for like 6 minutes. There's no way in hell, unless the album was bad. There's no way in hell. If I love an album, I'm doing the album review for 6 minutes. It's just not gonna happen.
Okay.
And people flock to see what he got to say. I'm like, he's not for this culture.
Looking like Steve from Blue's Clues, ass nigga.
I don't watch that.
Oh fuck. Oh. It's on you, bro.
All right, number 4, I got Killer Mike. Michael, a great album. Definitely the best Killer Mike album to date, in my opinion. The production was on point. Every song, it felt like you was listening to an artist's life story on wax. You know what I'm saying? Like him growing up in the South, and his personal struggles and talking about his family and stuff, and I enjoyed it. I think every song on here was fire. Down by Law with CeeLo, that's like one of the singles that's out now. That was fire. The Run joint with Young Thug and Dave Chappelle, talking that shit. Slumber with Jagged Edge. I loved every track on here. I think it's phenomenal. I know he's nominated for a Grammy with Andre, the Andre joint, so Scientists and Engineers, and Future was on that. But I think it's definitely his best album to date as a solo artist. Now his stuff with Run the Jewels, that's great too. But as a solo artist, I think this is his best album to date.
Yeah, man. I would say I'm gonna expand more on those thoughts because
Yeah.
that's also on my list too. But I'm not gonna say what.
Okay.
Shout out to AJ too. Like I said, this is the best I felt in a minute, so don't mind
I
me.
see. You cracking up over here.
Yeah. Track we are at number 4, right? Number 5,
Yeah.
number 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Earl Sweatshirt and Alchemist again with um Void Dyer, aka
Right.
Speak the Truth.
Uh-huh.
Very dope album. Oh my fucking! I thought Sick might be his best album and shit like that too, but nah, nigga. I mean, it's either Sick or this one. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, he has. See, Earl Sweatshirt, man, he be having them short ass motherfucking songs, but they be hitting hard
Yeah.
as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
27 Grade, Century was good. Vince Scully, man, this whole album was fucking dope and shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this is Earl Sweatshirt to me. He's one of the more him and Tyler, the consistent members of our future.
All right. Now, number 3 is going to be a shock to a lot of people, and it probably, I know that the diehard heads are going to be like, "How do you have this album up so high over Killer Mike and over AZ?" But this artist with this album impressed me to the point that I had to put it in the top 10, and I went back to this album a lot. And she's not known for her rapping, but on this album she's rapping. And that's Doja Cat with Scarlet. And I thought
I knew that. I knew it.
this album is a great album. You know what I'm saying? Like I see what Doja Cat is doing. Because if you saw the interview with Ebro and she's saying that she's gonna move away from the pop shit, that's what she's doing on this album. Like she's moving away from the pop shit and getting more into rapping, and she's gonna be doing punk rock shit and jazz. She wants to do jazz at some point also, right? Because her father was a jazz musician. But
She wants to do everything. Okay.
I like the fact that she wants to step outside the box. That's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? You can't be a legend in a genre doing the same thing for 10 years. You know what I'm saying? I like the fact that she wants to try different things. Now, it don't mean it's going to be good, but the fact that she wants to try to step out her comfort zone and do something else, I give her props for that. And when you hear Doja Cat rapping over the Audio 2 beat for Milk is Chilling, I didn't expect that at all. You know what I'm saying? And she sounded phenomenal on that. You got the mainstream joints, Paint the Town, Paint the Town Red and Agora Hills, Attention. Those are the mainstream joints, but the actual album itself was phenomenal. Love the production on it. It's definitely a departure from her previous albums. You know what I'm saying? When she's not doing a lot of singing and shit this time, she's rapping, and I enjoyed it. And I think it was a dope album. I think we're gonna hear more from Doja Cat like this. Now there was a rumor before the album came out that Alchemist did some tracks for her. You know what I'm saying? And he's not on the album, so I don't know if they were unreleased or if they're gonna save that for the next album. But supposedly Alchemist ain't doing shit with just anybody. So if Alchemist fuck with you, that means he liked what he heard from her. So I definitely want to hear that at some point. If they release that, but that's my number 3.
Hey, look who's in the chat.
Gervais was good.
Yo, Gervais, man. Happy New Year. I forgot to mention that to you. I was we had a very fun ass review we did. 2 fun reviews back to back.
Yeah.
and everything like that too. We definitely gotta bring you back up here and shit. What's a good? I'll text. I'm gonna text you later. I'm gonna text you.
Okay.
But see, I might want to listen. See, I have to check out that Doja Cat because I saw her dressed as that devil and shit. I was like, yo, I don't.
Yeah, yeah. She talked about that. There is like that stuff. You know what I
Because
mean?
that
But
paint the town red. That's my joint
yeah,
though.
that's my
That's
joint,
my
bro. With the Dionne Warwick sample. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? And like that joint was fire. But that when you get to the album, it's 17 tracks, and she's rapping on that shit. And that's something she wasn't doing on, the Planet, was it Planet Woman album, the album before that,
Yeah.
Hot Pink or whatever. She was doing like singing and shit, but she's rapping on this album.
Nah, you didn't do nothing, Cavase. I just said, look who's in the chat, man. Just want to show you some love and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, 2024 is gonna be the show love to the people who actually deserve love year.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's all I'm gonna say.
Right.
And no, I'm not calling myself love because if I call myself love, then shit happens and stuff. If you know what I mean.
Nah, I don't fuck with Little Dirk, man. Nah, this is the wrong channel for that.
Don't worry. Ain't nothing against Lil Durk. We just have our own thing going on. You know, we like Heavy D and the Boys. We got our own thing.
Right.
So yeah, I might check that Doja Cat album out to be real with you because I kind of once I heard about that shit with the white boys and the KKK, I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna mess with this chick. Yo, what's the slept on the album, Cavase? But we had number 3, right?
Yeah.
No, number 4. Oh yeah, number 3. Yeah, number 3. Okay,
Right.
you're right. I gotta go with that Magic 2 from Nas.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Nas it's literally the best rap of 2023. I don't give a fuck what no one say. In the time where we celebrate fucking hip hop 50, we celebrate hip hop 50, and I everybody's on this wavelength like we should respect the vets and everything.
Well, we've been doing that.
We have been doing that.
Yeah, we've been doing that.
I've seen motherfuckers. So white boys fucking bumping Boogie Down Productions like 9mm go bang and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? I've seen motherfuckers bumping a lot of shit we've been talking. I was like, oh, you know what? Let's have hip hop 50 make y'all hip hop heads for a whole year and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yo, I haven't heard that BJ the Chicago Kid joint.
I gotta check that album. I gotta check that album.
Cause I got his first album on CD and shit, you know. But yeah, but back to Nas. Yeah, this one was a very great album in my opinion. Shit, I don't know if I would say it's my favorite Magic because y'all might be surprised by what my favorite Magic is, but Abracadabra was dope. I mean, Office Hours with 50 Cent. You know what I'm saying? Even though a lot of people kind of talking about 50's verse and shit, I don't give a fuck. I liked it. Pistols on your album cover was good too. And then, this was around the time when 21 Savage was trying to come for Nas, but, Nas and 21 sat down like men and they came out with that One Mic, One Gun song and shit like that too, which, I mean, I respect it. It's not really one of my favorites on this album, but I respect it and shit too. So, yeah.
Well, number 2 for me is going to be Nas Magic 3 with Hit Boy. A great album. It just definitely was Nas's year. Magic 2 was dope. And I love Magic 3. You know what I'm saying? And I just felt like the production was better on this one. It was more songs on this one, and you had joints like Fever and TSK, Superhero Status, Jodeci Member. 1-900 Nas and Hit. 1-800 Nas and Hit. That would I just thought every track was just hitting. You know what I'm saying? And they saved the best for last to me. And this is why Nas is a GOAT. This is why he's, to me, the best MC ever. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that he can drop 6 albums with Hit Boy and they all was solid. And he broke that whole stigmata of, you can't rap after a certain age. I think if the Rolling Stones can come out with an album and they're like, what, 90 years old and they're on tour, why can't Nas? Why can't Jay-Z? This is the only genre where we try to we limit our own selves by stupid shit, like
Thank
ageism,
you.
like racism, like location, like sexual preference. At the end of
Jewelry,
the day, it's about the
baby
artist,
mamas.
about the music. You know what I'm saying? And hip hop didn't get to 50 years by creating boundaries for the genre. So we have to eradicate all of that nonsense and limitations and really take over. Like, to me, this is the best genre ever. It has taken over the world. It's not pop music. It's not rock and roll no more. It's not R&B. It is hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And in order for hip hop to be 100 years, we got to eradicate all this nonsense about, oh, well, Jay-Z can't make an album when he's 80 years old. Why not? If he still got it, why not? You don't hear that about Bruce Springsteen. You don't hear that about
Thank you.
You don't hear that about
Tony.
You know what I'm saying?
Tony Bennett was dropping albums when he was like 94 years old.
He was doing albums with Lady Gaga and got Grammys for it at his age.
Exactly.
So I want to hear Nas for another 50 years till he dropped dead to still be making albums with Primo and Alchemist and another Hit Boy album. Why not?
And we still waiting for that LL and Q-Tip joint, right?
I'm saying, LL, come on, you. Out of everybody, he need another solid album. He ain't dropped shit since 2000 that was good. Give me that LL and Q-Tip album already. You know what I'm saying? Stop stalling. You know? So I love it. I love the fact that Nas gave us a 6-album run with Hit Boy. It was phenomenal. And I hope he continues to still drop music with other producers. I want to hear him and Primo. That's a must. I want to hear him and Primo. I would like to hear him and Alchemist do an album together at some point. Yeah, why not? 50 years old and he's still on top of the game. I love it. You know what I'm saying? So that's my number 2.
Before I get to my wait a minute.
We had
that was 2.
Yeah, we had 2.
I could have sworn
number 3 was Doja Cat for me. Number 3 was Doja Cat. Number 2 was Nas.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute.
You forgot it.
No, I didn't forget an album because I said my number 6 was Lil Wayne. Okay. I mentioned that. Number 5 was Larry June.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4 was Earl Sweatshirt.
Right.
My number 3 was Magic 3.
Okay. What's your number 2?
Oh, I didn't even mention my number 2. Oh,
you mentioned.
Whoa. My mind. I'm sorry. I was looking ahead of my notes and shit like that. Don't mind me. I'm doing some activities. Don't mind me. But my number 2. Okay. But before I get to my number 2, I have an unpopular opinion, and I love Primo. I love Nas, but I do not want to hear a Nas and Primo album at this point.
I'm not expecting at this point. And I had a live stream about this months ago. Remember, at this point, I'm not expecting a classic. But I do feel like Primo can still give us a solid produced album. He's done it already. He can do that. It don't have to be. It's only going to be. Listen, let me tell you. Like, people put high expectations on shit, and then when it don't turn out the way that they expected, they quick to talk shit about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Primo is one of the best. Pete Rock is one of the best ever. They are legends. I do not expect a classic album with Nas and Primo. If it happens, cool. But if it don't, as long as the album is solid at this point, I'm not expecting, because the thing is, classics are not grown on trees. And I hate when this generation now, they listen to an album today and then tomorrow it's already a classic. It don't work like that. A classic do not happen overnight. You know what I'm saying? So as long as he give us a phenomenal, solid album, that's all I'm expecting. It don't have to be classic. Nas already proved himself. He's already a legend. Same with Primo. Not every project an artist come out with is going to be a classic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You look at Rolling Stone discography, not everything they dropped in the 80s were classic.
Oh, we already know that, boy.
You know what I'm saying? They had their highs and lows. That's what LL went through it. LL is still going through it. He had his highs and his lows.
Hey, not everything just
playable. If it's like, bro, if it's like 15 tracks, give me 15 solid bangers with Nas and Primo. It don't have to be a classic. Now, people are going to put high expectations on it because it's Nas and Primo, and we've been wanting this for like 30 years. I get it. But it don't have to be a classic though. It can still be a banging album, and it don't have to be on the same tier as a Illmatic or Stillmatic.
I don't think you heard what I said.
What you
said
saying?
not everything Justin Timberlake came out was a classic.
There you go. I'm not answering that. It don't, even if it's not featured, if it's just 15 tracks with just Nas can do a whole album by itself. He don't need to do a feature. If anything, he makes the feature better. But even if you don't have features, if it's just a 15-track album and it's just a solid album, that's all that I want. That's all that I want. I'm not expecting it to be classic. You know what I'm saying? And if it's a classic, it's gonna be a classic maybe like 20 years from now. It's not gonna be a classic as soon as it come out. You know what I'm saying? No album is like that. For an album to be a classic, it has to change. It has to be a game changer in how the peers in that genre, you know, how they move after that album is released, how society moves with it, how time moves with it. That's what makes it a classic. Right. Not, it drops an hour going in, tomorrow's already a classic. No.
Yeah, man, I agree with you about that, because I remember when and I'm gonna get to my number 2 after I say this. I remember when Kendrick came out with Pimp a Butterfly. Kendrick came out with Pimp a Butterfly. I love the album. That's to me Kendrick's best album. But I remember when that shit came out, I was in college. I was on social media. Nigga was already saying this shit was better than Illmatic. I'm just like, calm the fuck down. And this was the Black Lives Matter movement was blowing up the whole what police brutality shit was happening at that time. It was like a lot of shit happening at that time and stuff like that. So this is when everybody was woke. I'm just gonna say this was the woke period. When everybody wanted to wear those fake ass Asian made dashikis and shit like that. Having them fake ass incense that actually smell like feet and all that bullshit. This was y'all remember 2015. That was when white people started saying woke. That's all I'm gonna say. Right. And niggas was so into that fucking album and shit like that. They try to recreate the album cover. And mind you, they didn't even fucking hear the album. That's the gag. I heard the album. I loved it. But I didn't call it a classic. Today I would call it a classic album because it broke so much ground. It kind of did change the game a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, it was but he was not the first rapper to do like jazz and the spoken word and the scatting, because niggas forget he had Freestyle Fellowship. You know what I'm saying? My nigga AC Alone. Where's the love for AC Alone?
Facts. I agree.
You know what I'm saying? DJ Quick, hell, that song, King Kunta, that's pretty much, you can tell he was influenced by DJ Quick with that one. You can't tell me that's not Rhythmalism Quick right there.
It had a quickish type of beat to
it. Yeah. But like I said before, the music speaks for itself because it's not a bad track on the album, and the music means something. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like, you know, with the Pimp a Butterfly, it broke down the barriers for him to talk more about deeper topics, like when he did on Damn. Which that's a classic album too. I'm not gonna lie, that's the classic album too.
Yeah.
Y'all know how I feel about
Damn had a mixtape vibe with, you know, Kid Capri.
Yeah,
I love that.
I love that shit too, man. And I remember when I first heard it, I didn't care for it that much. I didn't fucking say I didn't like it. I just said I have to listen to it a couple more times. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember when Humble came out.
Yeah, that was.
It came out in the evening. It didn't come out like on midnight. It came out literally like 6 p.m. And it was like Kendrick's doing trap now. I was like, okay,
but he did it good. He did it good.
He did it good.
Yeah,
he did it good. But back to my number 2. We're going back to Nasty Nas with Magic 2. No pun intended. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. I kind of went back and forth which one I liked more. You know what I'm saying? I remember when this album came out and shit like that. A little secret about this channel. We were originally supposed to talk about a Van Halen album when this album came out.
I remember.
Try wanted to talk. I was not ready to talk about this album yet. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't know what I like to sit on albums and shit like that. But when we did this record, This was literally one of our highest rated live streams in a minute.
Wow.
So that's why after this album, I said every week we gotta talk about a newer album and everything like that too. That way we can't always just be stuck in the nostalgia like some other podcasts and stuff like that too.
Talk your shit, Reg. You already know.
Yeah, but that's another story for a different night. But yeah, Magic 2, this was a very great one. Yeah, I feel like, I kind of go back and forth which Magic I like the best. Well, you guys might see my answer when we do the part 2 of the Nas discography breakdown. But yeah, man, this one was a great album. I love songs like motherfucking can't talk, Abracadabra, Bokeem Woodbine and shit like that. So yeah, this was a very dope one.
My number one for me was a surprise because I didn't think nobody would beat Nas.
Oh shit. Huh? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I said Magic 2 for my number 3. Magic 3 was my number 2. I'm sorry. I mean, yeah, Magic 3, very great album. This definitely came out on his 50th birthday and everything. Songs like Superhero Status was dope. Fever, I love that one. Based on True Events, part 1 and 2 was very good too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this one right here was a nice finale. I felt like they saved the best for last with this one. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's my number 2.
Number 1 was a surprise, but I do like this artist he's gonna be one of those ones, man. Like I've been saying it for the last couple of years. From San Francisco, Larry June and Alchemist, The Great Escape. I love this album. I've been going back to this album for the whole year. And I've listened to a lot of his previous stuff, Spaceships on the Blade, The Orange Print. He dropped another album last year with Cardo, The Night Shift, which was phenomenal too. It didn't make my list. But this album here with Alchemist at this point can work with anybody. He's already shown that. He can do a phenomenal album with Earl Sweatshirt. That was great. He can do an album with Larry June, the stuff he did for Griselda, the stuff we did with Currency. He's one of the best. I love Alchemist. He can do no wrong in my eyes. And this album to me is one of his best. And just having different sounds for this album and a lot of the singles, 60 Days is one of my favorite on this album, 89 Earthquake, Summer Rain with Ty Dolla $ign, that was a banger. Orange Village with Slum Village, that was a banger. Like the whole album, Turkish Cotton, Solid Plan with Action Bronson, whole album was phenomenal. There's no skips on this album. And I think Larry June, people are gonna start mentioning Larry June when it comes to, the Rock Marcy's and the Conways and Benny's. I think he's that dude, and
I agree.
He has a lot of great music that's out. He did a whole project with Jay Worthy, another up and coming artist, Peas in the Pod, that was fire too. And to me, I don't like easily. It could have been Nas or Killer Mike for number 1, but I went with Larry June and Alchemist because I kept going back to this album more. And all of these albums are phenomenal. All of these, every album on our list was great. There's so many other albums that could have made the list. We're gonna have honorable mentions, but I think Tom Larry June got his respect. And I know I'm in hip hop chats with people that don't fuck with him because they feel like the way that he flows is too slow for them. I'm like, well, Mace was kind of slow also, and he was dope too. You know what I'm saying? So, we've heard artists with slow flows. PMD had a slow flow, and he was fire. He's a legend.
Hell, most of these mumble rappers have slow flows. What the fuck are they talking about?
You know what I'm saying? So I fuck with Larry June, and I can't wait to hear his new stuff. Whatever he drops this year, coming out. So that's my number 1, The Great Escape, Larry June, Alchemist.
I swear to God, the asinine comments these motherfuckers make, man. I swear. Yeah. Drake has a slow flow. I mean,
they don't like this. They don't like the acapella drumless tracks, or they don't like the MCs that sound like they're retarded and slow. You can't please everybody.
I don't know, man. That's why I just say to myself, at least I'm black and my D is big. But anyway, my number 1 pick is Killer Mike and Michael. Now, if you guys watch this channel for the past couple of months, I've kind of ranked this album high when it comes to the hip hop landscape of this year. this is the album that caught me by surprise and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? Because I like I said, I like Killer Mike. He's definitely one of my favorite rappers in this day and age. I haven't heard everything like those earlier projects like Monster. I Pledge Allegiance to the Grind 1 and 2. I kind of jumped on him when he did that rap music album and stuff like that, which eventually broke down the barriers for him to do the whole Run the Jewels shit with LP and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? Which we have to talk about rap music at some point. We got to talk about that because these Run the Jewels fans that make me laugh sometimes. It's like they would be on every Run the Jewels album, ridiculous. But when you mention rap music, it's like, what's that album? I'm just like, nigga, that's the unofficial debut. Like, what the fuck you mean? Like, shit. But yeah, Michael, this was a very great album. You know what I'm saying? Some of my favorite joints on this album was fucking what's that joint? Talking that shit. You know what I'm saying? That was my favorite joint. Nigga Rich was dope. A decent beat with Cool and Dre, man. What can you say about that? You know, Exit 9 was pretty good. Spaceship Views. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like, you know how much I love the album? Hold on, let me show y'all something.
Oh boy. You bought it?
Yeah. Hold on.
Nice.
Look at that shit.
Oh, nice.
On vinyl too. That's how. Yeah, man.
Illmatic vibes right there.
For real. It's like whenever these rappers have a picture of themselves as a kids for the album covers and stuff like that too, it's like that's when you know they talk
about a good album. More 9 times
like when R&B niggas do the lean, hip hop rappers do the fucking kid album covers and shit like that, you know. Yeah. Man. But I got like 2 honorable mentions. I just want to mention right quick, you know. Ninth Wonder and Mussolini with the Mussolini album. You know what I'm saying? That was a good one. That was so close to making my top 10, honestly. Very close. But you know, actually that album was literally like an afterthought and whatnot too, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, this one right here was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? The Dawn and I too. That's the album I'm thinking about. Excuse me. This one was pretty good too. I love that Carmel City 2 joint. You know what I'm saying? That was a very, very hot joint. You know what I'm saying? Nice to have Pete Rock rapping. It would be more iller if you had motherfucking CL Smooth and shit like that too. But I don't think that's ever gonna happen and everything like that too. Unfortunately, you know, shout out to CL Smooth. He dope lyricist and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? And you had him Ocean Breeze, Cool Out. You know what I'm saying? Shots 9th Wonder 2. You know what I'm saying? So that was a very good one. And my final honorable mention, I gotta go with Conway's album that he came out with this year. Let me pull it. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's a very dope one. I love songs like Super Bowl, Quarters. A much better album than the West Side Gun album. I'm gonna be real with you.
Yes, definitely.
I was so disappointed with that one, honestly.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna name like maybe 5 honorable mentions. The first one is Bad Seed. Shout out to the Bad Seed. He follows me. He had more than one album released last year, but I'm going with this one. Something Greater Than Myself. Dope, underrated MC, boom bap production from J.R. Swifts and Nam Nitty, Team Demo. Shout out to Team Demo as well. They follow me as well. He had a couple singles on this album. Skinny Biggie. I think that was the first single. He had Diddy Bop. You know, you got joints like Red and Meth, Adulting. I did an interview with him for this album actually last year on Instagram. I'm gonna upload that to my channel. I want to do another interview with him because I know he got like a lot of new music coming. I got an album coming out with Knots this year. And so shout out to Bad Seed, Something Greater Than Myself. You can hear that on Bandcamp and on YouTube. Marco Polo and Torre Midnight Run. That was a phenomenal album. I love Marco Polo's production, and again, another underrated boom bap producer. Torre, slept on MC. It was like a 10-track album. I loved the collab album between them. Great boom bap album. Lil Wayne and 2 Chainz surprised me because I don't fuck with 2 Chainz, but they did have good chemistry on that album on Collie Grove, and I liked the production wasn't too trappy. It was real. There was like some real hip hop beats on that album. They surprised me. Lil Wayne still got it, even though he needs to stop with the Carter series, but he still got the bars, and that really it really surprised me. That was a dope album. Um, Muggs, Soul Assassins 3, Death Valley, phenomenal album. It's supposed to be the end of the trilogy, and he had Scarface on there. He had Boldy James. He had Conway. He had a joint with CeeLo. I know he's doing an album with CeeLo that's coming out later this year. The single was called Joker's Wild, and phenomenal end to that trilogy, the Soul Assassins trilogy. That was a banger. I love DJ Muggs. Currency and Harry Fraud, they had a joint called Vices that was a great collab with them, and they've done stuff in the past with each other. Rick Hyde from Black Soprano Family, he had an album called The Power, and he produced like the whole production himself. He does his own beats and he raps, and I thought it was a phenomenal project from Rick Hyde. So I fuck with him from Benny's crew, Black Soprano. It's a whole bunch, but I have another list coming out with Food Sick on Saturday. We can do like the top 30 best albums of 2023 from all genres, from rock, R&B, jazz, hip hop. So look out for that. But I just wanted to mention some of the other ones that didn't make the top 10 list. But there was like a whole bunch of other projects. Jamal Gusul had a dope project out as well last year. Conway, Won't He Do It? To me, the best Griselda release last year. I think Conway had the best releases. Onyx, Blood on the X. That was a phenomenal Onyx album. Who else? RJ Payne, My Life is a Movie Part 2. RJ Payne is that nigga. I loved his that mixtape album that he came out with. Great MC. Planet Asia and Apollo Brown, Sardines. That was a dope album. I like Anchovies more than Sardines. I thought the production was better on Anchovies, but Sardines was decent. It had some joints on there too. But yeah, that was like the ones I just wanted to mention.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I feel like that's a good list. That's definitely a good list.
No Blockbuster. Busta Rhymes and Westside Gun made like my worst list. So yeah, I didn't like those albums.
Oh Jesus. Anyway, yeah, man. So this was a fun ass list right here. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna end this off right here because I'm running low on StreamYard minutes for this account. But this upcoming Friday, we're gonna talk about the SOS band with the On the Rise album. And you can also catch us tomorrow. We do the top 100 movies of all time.
I'll be on
I
my
don't know. I don't know how long that's gonna be.
Are we doing like all 100 or is he breaking it up?
I gotta ask. I gotta double check because if it's all 100, I gotta be like, yeah, I gotta bring some snacks, some drinks, like
Smoke,
right.
man.
But yeah, man. But my day is literally free that whole evening as of now and shit.
Yeah, same.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so this Friday is SOS Band on the Rise, y'all. That's gonna be Friday at 10 p.m. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. If anything changes, I'll definitely hook y'all up. But anything else to say before we head out?
Thursday I'm doing an interview with I forgot Grind Ethics. He's a he has his own podcast. I know he's working on a mixtape documentary he asked me to be a part of. So we're gonna talk about all that on Thursday on live stream on Instagram at I think it's 8 p.m. I want to say 7 p.m. 8 p.m. But follow him, Grind Ethics. Shout out to him on Instagram. Um, Friday, I'm dropping the Lore interview that I did with them 2 years ago on my channel because of my content. And check out for the people that didn't see the interview I did with Lore. Check that out. It was great. Shout out to Lore. What else we doing on the weekend? We got anything we doing?
Well, just a Kid and Play Facing Nation Sunday, but that time is to be announced.
And that's it. That's it. And shout out to Food Sick. He's a chef and he's a hip hop head like us, and he does like his annual like best albums list. So he asked me over the summertime to be a part of it. So we're gonna be dropping our top 30 best albums of 2023 from all genres, from rock, R&B, jazz, hip hop, whatever we listen to, all genres. We have to narrow it down to 30. And my list is I got like maybe 6 last entries, but it's pretty much done. So some of these albums that I mentioned tonight is gonna be on the list. So look out for that. That's gonna be on the 6th. When is the 6th? Is that Saturday? It's gonna be on the 6th.
That's a Saturday.
Yeah, so Saturday the 6th. Hopefully he puts it up by then. He said the 6th. So hopefully by the 6th it's up. If not, early next week. But look out for that list.
All righty. Well, I hope everything goes well with that shit tomorrow. I will see you guys tomorrow as well. Y'all have a good night. Peace.
All right. Peace.